free love.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to David's Kitchen. Hello. Yeah, we are doing a show right now, which will be asparagus casserole. And if you've ever had asparagus, you know that it's probably one of the most delicious things in the world, except when it comes in a can, when it's not so delicious. You can use the can in this particular recipe. A couple cans would do. I bought these asparagus for $1.99 a pound here in Washington. Now that's unheard of in your area, I know. A lot of you are spending $4.99 a pound. I'm going to rinse them off in filtered water because, you know, they're not organic. Let's get this, there we go. All right. Put those on the slab. Hey, Terry, you're not allowed to come in here, and don't ever do that again. Yeah. If you come in with other names, we'll ban you, and we will turn slow chat on if you guys are attacking tonight. So just be aware, no one likes slow chat. No, I didn't like what Trump had to say about immigration, but I like the idea, concept of basing it on merit. I do like that concept. But Jared Kushner made a big mistake just opening his mouth in front of the Republican and the Democrats. They don't like what he said. Jared Kushner wasn't versed on any of this. Plus, he doesn't want to talk about DACA, and the Democrats still want to talk about DACA. Yes, asparagus is expensive, so my cost was $2.49 for all this, so I'm just going to use half of this. I'm apportioning $2 for the asparagus, or 2 cans equivalent to this. So 2 cans should be $1 a can, so $2 for the asparagus. $1 for pasta. And you can use any pasta. Today I'm going to use some pasta I have lingering around, some angel hair and some whole wheat pasta mixed together. It doesn't, you know, you could use noodles too. Noodles work. What I like about these pastas is a lot of them are putting non-GMO on their labels. See that? And Barilla is like many others that are doing non-GMO. Yeah, I'm going to use a little pasta as the base of this casserole. And I've never made this dish, so it's just going on my gut here. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna put I'm gonna get some water going in this container here. That's just gonna steam some water. I'm only gonna put about a 1/4 cup of water in there. I'm gonna turn it up to level 6. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of Himalayan salt and put it in to the mix. A pinch of the salt. And the purpose is to bring out the flavor. Aaron, we talked about that, remember? I will go to slow chat. Yeah, the salt brings out the flavor in the asparagus, and it doesn't have to overwhelm it. Just a little bit of a flavor enhancer. Welcome. Hey. Yeah, you can fry an egg. Well, you might need an egg in this dish. Don't tell Sarah I might put an egg in this. Thank you. All right, so this dish calls for $2 in vegetables like mushrooms, onions, butter, and cheese. So I don't know, there's not a lot here. Another idea with this, you can add a $2 can of chicken breast into this mix. Yeah, now right now I'm getting the hot water going to a really high temperature. I'm going to blanch the asparagus. Yeah. I cut my hair myself, yeah. Now, I don't pay extra for barbers because, well, for one, the Navy base, it's always so busy down there, you know. I was reading some reviews of the Navy base down here, and they said, yeah, the base is just so busy. The barber is great, but he's just so busy. I feel bad for all these military guys that go in there and have their buzz cuts every week, when you can just do it yourself. Canned spears are the best for this. Reptoid, you agree? Yeah. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll mix a little bit of the regular spears and a little bit of canned spears. We don't have to use all these spears, so let me just take, like these are really fresh, so I'm just going to take like a handful, and I'll add a can to it. You're right. To kind of get that flavor to push through. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the bottoms off of these things. Nothing like hanging at the barbershop. Yeah, well, a lot of people do, I guess. I haven't been to a barber in 30, 40 years. 40 years, wow. Almost 40 years. 83, I think, was the last barber I went to. Okay, so as with asparagus, you have to cut off the back end of these. So what you do is you find a break point, take both fingers like that, and go like that. That's your break point. Throw the spears into the water as the water heats up. Wherever your break point is, that's the point where it's most tender. Now, if you're really, really conservative, you can take these things and actually boil them for hours and make like an asparagus broth. I don't really do that, so I just put them in the compost heap, but you can do whatever you want. All right, so we got the break points. I'm going to cover that up and blanch it. I want to show you what I've been doing with a steak that I'm making for Sarah today. Yeah, I've been marinating this steak that I picked up for it's a sirloin tip for $3.60. Take a look at this steak right here. That steak was $3.60, and what I did was I put some tenderizer on it, and some paprika, and some apple cider. Now you can use apple cider vinegar or any type of vinegar. I just used apple cider, and I got to tell you, it's kind of an interesting challenge to do this. What I did was I stabbed it with a fork like this, and it's starting to get really tender right now. I did this about 3 hours ago, and I kept flipping it. Thank you. And just lightly flip it over like that. And just let it set. And keep poking it, and you can actually bash it if you want. I'm going to go ahead and prep a steak for Sarah in the back burner. Well, I'm just telling you how to 3 hour minimum on the marinade, and marinating does reduce cholesterol. Yes, it's totally harmless. When people eat asparagus, their urine kind of smells like sulfur. They have an enzyme that when they eat asparagus, well, I also believe it's kind of pulling toxins out of your body, asparagus. That's my belief on the urine smell. But thanks for bringing up urine during the cooking show. Who would have thought? We're not going to get to the egg until the end of the meal. Well, you can relieve my attention right now just by being here and being great chatters. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Okay, so we're going to steam these for about 10 minutes, bring them up to a really hot steam, and then I'm going to try to pour the water out and throw some butter in and push the asparagus to the side. I'm only going al dente. Hey, again, you're going to have to not show disrespect for women. I think being without a woman in your life for all these years has created kind of animosity. You're going to have to neutralize that and grow to respect women. I've been trying to help this guy find a woman in his life and not just look for, what does he call it, trim? Oh yeah, I could find trim anytime I want. Oh. Dude, you need to find a woman who you respect, and if you're not treat women that way, you're not going to find trim for more than one time. Yes, anyway, So dealing with the steak is pretty simple. I'm just going to turn the pan on in the back on level 3 to get started. And I'm going to throw some olive oil in there. And I use a little bit of salt. You can definitely put a little salt on that. I'm going to use some salt substitute. Morton's makes this potassium iodide. Yeah, potassium iodide and sodium. It's 50% less salt. So I'm going to use some of that. Salt makes the meat tough. So if you want to salt your meat, you want to put it on toward the end. Seriously, but I'm going to put a little in there because it's going to be a slow cook for it, Sarah. I'm going to actually turn it down to a melt and let it just sit in its juices. I'm going to throw a little olive oil and a little garlic on the pan. So let's start with that. Splash a little olive oil on that hot pan. Just a little bit, no more than a tablespoon. And I'm going to take out of my California garlic that I picked up. Try to avoid anything that isn't California garlic. The garlic from China is not, I don't believe, safe to eat. Personally, I think a lot of the food products from China are a little bit suspicious. And I'm going to put that garlic on the pan with the olive oil. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to get that to a hot flame. I'm going to cover it up. Now I'm going to take a thing of water and get this on the stove here. It's about not quite half full. I'm going to turn that up to a high flame, level 6. So I've got level 6, level 3, and level 6 over here. And I'm all set to drop the temperature on this one down to simmer. I just pretty much blanched the asparagus. See that? They're cooking, they're in a nice little boil, and I'm just going to let them sit in their own heat right now. I may retrieve the water or put it in with the pasta. The hot water can go into the pasta. Yeah, now you can also just heat the asparagus in the water itself for the pasta. You don't have to write this down. We're cooking 3 things. The third thing is the steak for Sarah. No, it's not that no one watches the cooking show on YouTube. Every hit I have on YouTube represents 1 million clicks. Yeah, I have. They started doing this to me when I started growing really fast. In 2011, I was getting 20,000 hits a week, and they just shut it down to 2. Yep. That's what happened. So for every click I have on my cooking, you count 1 million, okay? Thanks. I'm sure T. Rucker is working for somebody, yeah. I'm afraid Bernie Sanders is a pervert who said that women want to be raped by 3 men simultaneously. I'm afraid I can't have you in the show. Okay, welcome Republicans who are drifting away from Trump. And you farmers, I care about you. We're talking about the breadbasket of America being attacked by Trump right now. Tom, remember, we're not going to denigrate people here. I retired. It's not that I don't work. I work all the time. I just don't get paid for it. There isn't a moment in the day that I don't work. Okay. I'm going to cap that water off so it'll boil faster. I'm turning this, it's pretty much done. I'm going to pour this water into the water right here to accelerate the heating process. Okay. Now I'm going to take and put butter on the pan. I'm going to push the asparagus aside. And I'm going to take a little bit of butter, about a couple teaspoons maybe. bisect that and put it right in there on that. Okay, we're going to make a little bit of a kind of a base, a white sauce. And I might even use a little bit of milk in this process. I get organic milk because I really do care about avoiding Roundup in my food products. And when they tell me that it's ultra pasteurized, it used to concern me, but now I'm more concerned about the animal welfare and the fact that it doesn't use hormones and it's eating organic food. You know, these are they're more important to me than ultra pasteurized at this point. So I will use a little splash of milk in the middle there. What I'm going to do is start that butter up on a level 3. I'm going to push it in the middle. Oh, and guess what? We're all set to put our steak on the grill. Here we go. See how easy this is? See that I've got the marinade in there? I'm just going to put it right on the grill. Whoa! Okay. And what you want to do is sear it on one side real quick. That's good. We've got this going for us, which is nice. I'm going to throw a little flour onto the butter. And I'm going to heat that up to a kind of a bubble. I'm using the rest of my Wonder flour from 1999, I think. 1998, when I first met Sarah, we bought this. 20 years I've been using this. Yeah, so I'm just searing that pan in the back on level 3. I'm going to flip it over right now. Luckily I got some of the sear on there already, and I'm just going to set it right on the grill like that and then turn it down to a simmer. I'm going to put it on melt for the remainder of the evening. And I'm going to watch that meat just kind of melt. Okay. Now when handling dirty washcloths like I just did, you want to grab your one paper towel and wipe your hands with that, because dirty washcloths are a no-no when cooking. All right, today I'm going to be kind of like getting that going to a boil at a level 3. And I'm just using the remainder of the water that was in there along with butter. And I wanted to show you guys a little trick if you ever want to thicken something. I have these packets of dried potatoes from 1998 that I picked up when I met Sarah. And they're pretty good for thickening gravies and whatever. So you might want to consider like powdered potatoes as a thickener. If you don't want to go in the flour direction. What I'm going to do is add a little milk now. And what I'm trying to do is create a white sauce. Just a little bit to get it going. And I'm creating a roux here. The water is boiling for the spaghetti in a few minutes. I'm going to get the spaghetti cooking. And what we're going to do is get all the asparagus in the bottom really nice and creamy. I'll even add that can of asparagus to it. Mrs. Brittany, please don't talk about these horrible things that you're describing. It sounds like you're living in a fantasy world. That's just inappropriate here. Yeah. So we don't have a lot of chat going on iVlog, or maybe I just haven't refreshed. Let's see. Well, I was disconnected from chat, no wonder. Hi, everybody. Okay. Well, it just sounded to me like she was getting all hot and frisky over the cooking session, and you know, it's inappropriate. If a person wants to do that, they should go in the privacy of their bedroom and not engage in a cooking environment. I only use it, Mike, because we've been attacked at Vaughn. It's just a backup site. You know, we have to have backups. We have a Periscope coming up at 6 o'clock too. Your roux have never looked like that, I know. You know, I am going to cook with the chicken tonight. It's an option you don't have to do, but... Oh, I got to get busy on my thing, hang on. Oh, see, I need a little bit more milk in there. All right. Okay, so I'm kind of creating a kind of a little mini gravy here. And now I'm going to prep my onions. So we've got the knife going on here. This is the cool knife. The asparagus looks really good because it's yeah, it's a totally cool, it's pre-cooked. I did a blanch on it, but we're going to take this really nice knife and cut off the base of the onion and then peel back the outer skin. Okay. Boy, that sliced like a dream. All right, I'm going to rinse it off. This is an organic onion. Oh, we got a boil going here. Okay. Let me get my spaghetti in place. You could use any pasta you want. The pasta is no more than $1. It's the lowest cost thing in the meal. Yeah, so well, it's getting harder and harder to recycle things in my area. Every time I go to the recycler, I get barked at by the woman that runs it. This past week, I brought in some number 5 peat, and I had no idea it was number 5 peat. Yeah, you can run this at a pretty much of a level 3 now. Take that front burner down to level 3. But yeah, they wouldn't accept my level 5 peat. Hey, Captain, that's not cool. Yeah, no, we don't allow that here. So my number 1 and number 2 is only accepted. So basically, I have to put a lot of stuff in the garbage now, you know, and that's because Donald Trump's trade war with China has caused a lot of the recyclable things to be turned away now at the docks. So we really need to build a recyclable system in America. We haven't even done that. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put that onion, I'm going to dice it really tight. Let's see if you can see me cutting this. There we go. Hold it, we got another problem. Okay, this is not acceptable, guys. I'm going to go to slow chat. You've been warned. We did this 3rd week in a row. I had to do slow chat. Nice tight, really nice tight. No more than a 1/4 of an inch. You're going for a nice delicate heat with the cream sauce. Okay, the bottom you don't need. We're going to push that into the cream sauce. Okay. Cover it up as you prepare your other dishes. You're at level 3 on both burners. And in the back, I've got a steak I'm cooking at melt. All good. Okay, garlic is good in the asparagus dish. So if you want to do the garlic thing, you can. Makes sense, right? So we'll do the same garlic thing with the cream sauce and the onions. A nice wallop, about a tablespoon of garlic. Heaping teaspoon or a tablespoon. Yeah, now I'm going to do the cutting of the mushrooms. Here we go. Put them flat like that. Nice slices, very gingerly not to put your finger under the knife because it will cut your finger off. You wouldn't want that. You like your finger. All right, we're done with that knife. Dave is more of a button mushroom side. Yeah, I like any mushroom. I just happen to buy those because they're the garden variety. Now, I'm not into psilocybin because, well, I've never tried it for one, and number two, I really don't want to, get high on a mushroom. Okay, I'm going to push those into the bin as well. Okay, I'm going to leave the temperature at level 3 and let everything kind of gel. And again, I'm overcooking I'm at the point where I'm overcooking the asparagus a little bit at this point. So what I'm going to do is pull the asparagus onto the top of the onions. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. I'm going to add a splash of warm milk. And a couple of shakes of Parmesan cheese. Okay, and I'm going to cover that up, and I'm going to turn it up to level 6 again. My pasta is almost done. I'm going to turn that level off completely, and now I've got to drain my pasta. All right. Okay, everything's cooking very nicely. What I'm going to do is pull that chicken out and the asparagus out. Now, the chicken is optional. You don't need it, but I'm going to add it because I really think it's a good blend of flavoring. So you could theoretically make this with a $2 can of chicken and a $1 can of asparagus and a $1 container of pasta. And the remaining ingredients do not add more than $1, so I'm looking at $5 total. Yeah, no matter what. I know, slow chat sucks. I'll get slow chat off in a second. Now, what I do with a lot of these products that I get in cans is I drain them and rinse them in water. So here I'm taking the asparagus juice. I could probably put that in the compost heap. But I'm going to give it a good shake, and the salt content is reduced this way. Some of you are salt sensitive and you don't even know it. Especially the chicken. The chicken is loaded with salt. So I'm going to drain that into the drain. It goes down the drain. Now again, you can put that in your compost heap if you want, if you're really into it. I'm going to do a couple of drains on this. And give it a little wiggle, kind of work it in circles so it gets to all areas, and then drain off that salt. Okay, now I'm going to take both cans and dump them into the cooking onions and mushrooms. All right, let's do it. Here's the can of chicken and the can of asparagus. Cover it up and kind of press everything down. Break up the chicken a little bit with the tip of your spatula. Press it all together like that and cover it, remaining at level 6. Take your spaghetti and drain it. Now again, this could be egg noodles or anything you got. I just had spaghetti I wanted to eat up. Should be good. Make sure it's all broken up. And put that, put a little bit more Parmesan in here. And cover this with a casserole with an entire layer of spaghetti, like that. Okay, now turn it down to level low and let it sit. Yeah, this is great. This is called cooking quickly and efficiently and bringing all the flavors together. Now, in a little while, the onions are going to permeate up in, the garlic's going to be permeating up in, and the cheese flavor will be imbued in the spaghetti itself. Non-GMO, by the way. Yeah. Okay, slow chat is off. We're up and running. All right, we're going to take care of Olivia. Oh, Mark made it so I can't even do Olivia here. Hang on, Olivia's attacking. We're going to take care of Olivia manually. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it lost connection to chat. Okay. That's why it wasn't working. Okay, we should be up and running. We banned her. My hair is neither gray, black, or white. No, it's actually a combination of the lighting. Yeah, this is. Yeah, you're seeing a kind of an archive of the lighting. It's much better lighting in the other room. Well, Brian, the asparagus is cooking whether you like it or not. We got attacked for a little temporarily. Olivia attacked us when I turned guest chat or slow chat off. You're seeing light from this angle hitting this side, and then you're looking at the front because I've got a yellow light right here. Yeah. So you're just seeing things from different light perspectives. When I go in the other room, you'll see it. It'll look great. I'm shocked. I can't believe you said that. All right, I guess I'm almost done here. What I have to do is open up this cheddar box and start. Yeah, I'm going to rotate the entire dinner, and I am going to get an egg out of here. I've got some organic eggs here, free range. Okay, and I've got this Tillamook cheddar I bought for $1 for all this whole container. Normally $5.99, I got it for $1. So this does call for a lot of cheese. If you have any extra cheese in the house, throw it on top. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and because the cheese, they say, is the component here, and I didn't need to add pasta to this dish, but I really wanted pasta. And that chicken flavor, I want that chicken flavor too. So these are pieces of cheddar that go into a sauce that's already pre-cut, so I'm just going to use these. And you'll see me move the entire meal with the spatula. And I didn't use the pepper, by the way. That's completely optional. You don't have to bother with that. All right. Before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and flip Sarah's steak. Because I promised her I'd make her a steak. That's beautiful. It's slow cooking. I'm going to flip it over now and then let it cook on the other side in its own broth. I've done this before, and it's actually really good with an old cut of meat. You basically cook it on a very low flame, and you cook it in its own marinade. So the marinade actually acts as a constant cooking addition to your meal. And again, salt to taste when you're ready to eat. Okay, let's do these. This is a pretty interesting dish. Okay, right now it looks like spaghetti on top of a casserole. So what I'm going to do is lift it up and rotate it so the bottom gets to the top. You can do it all the way around the sides. This is how to make a casserole on a stovetop. Yeah, look at how I'm bringing the asparagus up. See that? Shuffle the pasta down, and the mushrooms are coming up to the top now. And you know, ironically, it's perfect because this asparagus, and you can cut this up with a, you know, go like that, kind of jab it. And the more you move it, actually the better it is, unless you turn it into mush. You don't want to make mush out of it. Okay, nice. And these big asparaguses I can just serve with each bowl, one big asparagus. Completely rotating all the sides onto the top like that. And you're at the level low now, it's just in the steaming stage. But everything is perfect, absolutely perfect. It couldn't be better. You've got a wonderful white sauce that's mixed in from the original. You've got your Parmesan. You've got your chicken blending in. Okay, your full casserole is done. Let me make sure there's nothing on the sides. Then you want to take cheese and just cover it with a layer of cheese. Like that. I used a half of that container. I'm going to leave it on low, cover it, and you are done. Everything is complete. You have finished your meal. I'm going to throw this little bit of food in the compost bin, and then I'm pretty much ready to start the show in the other room. All right, I know you guys are interested in getting on with a real show and talking about politics, so we will do that right now. Thank you. Do you think Trump lost a lot of money on that horse, maximum security? I think he lost a whole lot of money on that horse. That's why he was so upset when maximum security was taken out of the loop. So I can use this for another meal. Isn't that nice? Yummy. Okay, now the egg would have been a nice idea had I actually integrated it in, but I noticed that my white sauce was actually perfect, so there's no need to put an egg in this dish unless it's looks a little bit, you know, kind of sparse in the white sauce area. So if you want to take an egg and scramble it at the bottom and kind of add it to the texture, I'm not going to do it because Sarah has an aversion to eggs, and she will not let me put an egg in there. So I am going to pull that out and not put the egg in after all. So put it back in this nice little carrier case, and we'll eat it another day. Meanwhile, that steak is on the stove, slowly cooking. Everything is nice and tight. You can turn the flame down to nothing or shut it off completely because that cheese will just melt right on top of the dish. All right, thank you. I'm going to turn it off and show you the finished product. And I'm going to up it. Well, I think 5 people is adequate. I think we can feed 5 people with that. Yeah, and it's a complete meal. It has the chicken in it. I put it back in the egg container. You insist upon saying carton? Well, it wasn't that hard to make that dinner, you know? And it's going to be full of incredible nutrition because, you know, asparagus really do have that ultimate vitamin feel. You'd have to scramble the egg in the middle and put it in. But if you're looking for a thickener, that's a great way to do it. But I didn't need a thickener. That white sauce is working great. And the Parmesan kind of adds thickness too. Hey, thank you for watching David's Kitchen and showing me the benefit of slow chat, you know, when I do the show. Yeah. All right, take care, everyone. We'll be back again for another one next week. This will be uploaded tonight in the wee hours of the morning. All right, see you later.